Hello, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon. Welcome to the Keepers Club podcast. The virtual gathering that you see before you on your Zoom or YouTube screens allow us to have this great privilege to hold a podcast. It's hosted by Keepers Club, a club that aims to keep young people like us away from negative activities such as smoking, drinking, doing drugs, and help guide and uplift young adults like us who are tuning in, especially those who might be going through depression, loneliness, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts. We have the privilege to have keepers that are willing to join this week's recording to share their experiences on how to stay healthy, happy, and motivated. Because at the end of the day, that's really the goal of the club for us keepers to share with others as one were to do with their own brothers sisters. Just like the club's slogan, I am my brother's keepers. We will do whatever it takes to share the love that we experience individually and as a group. And we'd also love to thank the founding president of Keepers Club, who is none other than Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, for this opportunity to be a part of the Keepers Club International here in the United States of America, as well as the great privilege and entrustment to have a Keepers Club inspired podcast. So without further ado, let us all greet all the keepers that have joined us today. We may all see your beautiful faces and greet your fellow keepers by saying, I am my brother's keepers. How is everyone this week, this day?
Good.
Everyone is looking sharp. Everyone's looking young. How are you, Josh? All the way there, wherever you are. Wow.
Keeper Josh, my host
Hello, Keeper,
Anthony,
Hello, Keeper
and
Calvin. Thank you for
Keeper
allowing me
Kuya.
host this episode. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. So, with that being said, let us start our podcast today by sharing the screen. So, before we begin, we will have a disclaimer. So, our disclaimers include kindly avoid cursing or sharing anything traumatic. Please prevent from saying anything that goes against our slogan, I am my brother's keepers. Brother slash sister's keepers. And most of all, to have fun and enjoy this podcast. So, how are you all feeling today? How are you all feeling? Good? Happy?
Good.
Tired? I know it's been a long day for most of you from school, and for those that work. I don't know if any of you guys work, but I know you guys go to school, so I know school can be pretty exhausting. So thank you guys for taking the time to join this evening for an hour of podcast today. So with that being said, this is our 42nd episode of this podcast. Can you guys believe it? It's been within a span of a year, I believe, or a little more than a year that we have this podcast because it's been 42 episodes, which means 42 different weeks, not counting last week. So, our topic for today is stress. And this is the Keepers Club podcast, episode 42. Okay. So, before we begin, let's have a history fact of how Keepers Club began. So Keepers Club International, or KCI, was first founded by Pastor Apollo C. Quibloy and was first established in June 1986 in Davao City, Philippines. Since then, KCI spread all over the globe, gaining thousands of keepers worldwide, and would have jam sessions, outings, and constructive small group sharing and discussions. So KCI is not only in the Philippines, but in other countries like in the United States of America, Canada, United Kingdom, Italy, Belgium, Spain, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, and many more. Hey, so who are we? So the Keepers Club podcast is a podcast that helps guide, encourage, and uplift the youth through Zoom, YouTube full episodes, and Facebook, which have our group photos. So no matter what time of day you guys stumble upon this link or this YouTube videos, you are always there as if you are in this present moment. So you can watch it via live in Zoom as you guys are watching right now, YouTube full episodes, and our group photos on Facebook. So it is every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why? Because I and my brothers keepers. And how will we do that? To gather, bond, and share with the keepers all over the United States. Wow. What an experience. So, all of our topics relate to the struggles of being a youth. So, everyone can relate to this because we're all going through it. And you may not say I'm not, but in a way that you guys are going through this. So, you guys have to dig deeper in yourselves to find the relationship with you and this topic that we are going through. So, it is a privilege to meet and talk to keepers all over the United States because seeing from this group of people in front of me, I know how some of you guys are scattered all over the United States. So it is a privilege to meet and talk to you guys tonight. And humbling, I am my brother's keepers. So we keep each other uplifted, happy, motivated in doing our daily tasks as a young people. So before we begin, let us first have our icebreaker. So we're gonna be having two truths and a lie. Two truths and one lie. So who would like to begin with their truths and lie? I know. Okay, I see a hand. Keeper Isaac wants to begin. So let's give the mic to Keeper Isaac and let's guess which one is the lie.
Okay. So the first one is that I took my reading star today. The second one is that I'm on my bunk bed, and the third one is that um I drive a car. I have a driver's license.
So kindly get your guesses in the chat or you can just say it out loud. But as you guys can see, even though you look so young, you can drive a car. Or maybe that's the lie. Or maybe it's the truth. You never know. So kindly get your guesses in the chat or say it out loud. I'll put mine in too. Wow. So it seems that everybody in the chat is saying three. So Keeper Isaac, kindly reveal the answer to your um truth and lie.
It was number 3.
Wow. So still it's the legal age is still 16 to drive. Okay, we can get a couple more doing two truths and one lie, and we saw Keeper Josh. Go ahead, Keeper Josh.
All
Show us
right.
the truth and a lie.
All right. So truth, and a lie. First one is I have cats. The second one is I have 2 cats. The third one is I have 3.
So you said you have the first one you have cats, just cats in general. The
Okay.
second one is you have 2 cats, and the third one is you have 3 cats. So do you guys think Josh is a cat person or a dog person? You guys can see from the hair. Wow. Let me put my guess in there too. I think the lies. Anyone else would like to get their guesses in before Keeper Josh reveal his answer? 2. Okay, so we have 2 against 1. So they said 2 and I said 3. Which is the lie, Keeper Josh?
The lie is 3. I only have 2 cats.
Wow. Yeah, he said 3 cats in the third one. I could have sworn I've seen a cat behind there somewhere. But wow. Okay, can we get one more? Can we get one more to do a two truths and one lie? If not, I will be the one to go.
Can I go?
Go ahead.
Okay. Uh The first one is that I don't play Fortnite anymore. The second one is I play video games. And then the third one is I'm in my room.
Okay, everybody kind of get your guesses in. So he said first one, he doesn't play Fortnite anymore. Number two is he plays video games, and number three, he is not in his room. Okay, so he's not in his room, so he's in outer space. Okay. Okay, so everyone's saying three, three, and two ones. Okay, what's the answer? Reveal the answer, Keeper Isaiah.
The answer was 3. I'm in the living room.
Oh wow, I thought you were outer space. Okay, that anyone else wants to go before we move on? Oh, Keeper Calvin. Okay. So his one truth and two lies. Okay, so he did it differently. So there's one truth and there are two lies. So the first one is I am sick. The second one is I am not sick. And the third one is I'm sick but I can still talk slash sing. Okay. Which one could it be? I think. So we're looking for the truth, right? Okay. Okay, you were looking for the truth. It is I think three. Get your guesses in, everybody, before we move on to our actual topic for today. So we have threes and twos, and 1, 2 from Keeper Isaiah. Okay, he said three. Okay, Keeper Kevin, kindly reveal your answer. So he said, for one truth and two lies, I'm sick, I am not sick, I'm sick, but I can still talk and sing. What is the answer, Keeper Calvin? One is the truth. Okay, so we all got it wrong. We all got it wrong. So the truth is, he is sick. And that is why you have me as your podcast host for today. So he can't talk or sing, so he's utilizing the chat box. Okay, so that's nice. So I guess we're done with our icebreaker for today. So let us begin our topic for this evening. So like I said, our topic today is stress. So show of hands, who here feels stressed sometimes? Who feels stressed? Show of hands. Wow. So mostly everybody is raising their hands, even for those that doesn't have their cameras on. So stress, guys. It's a very it has a negative connotation, doesn't it? Because stress, by definition, says a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. So when you're in a situation that is pressurizing, that is making you think too fast, and that you have problem thinking, that's called stress. So another keyword that we have for today is overthink. So to think too much about or put too much time into analyzing something in a way that is more harmful than helpful. Okay, so you guys understand what stress and overthink means, right? Okay, so that's good. Let's move on. So we can get stress from a lot of environmental factors, such as fighting, such as you can't make a decision that doesn't hurt anyone, that isn't not gonna help hurt anyone, and you're making a decision that you have to choose between one and another. That can also be factors of stress, such as like this lady right here in the picture. She's stressing because she has homework, I believe, and the guy is stressed because of the computer. So stress can lead to addressing challenges and threats in our lives, as everyone experiences stress to some degree. So becoming easily agitated, frustrated, and moody, as if we are losing or feel the need to take control. And keep in mind, this is what stress can lead to. And lastly, feeling bad about themselves, lonely, worthless, and even depressed. Okay, so guys, this is what stress can lead to, and as you guys can see, it's very negative. It's a very negative feeling to have because you can feel bad. It can lead to depression and making you feel worthless. And it happens to everybody. Believe it or not, it happens to everybody. Okay, so we'll talk more about it once we get to the question, which is the next slide. So episode 42 question of the day. What does stress mean to you, and how does stress tend to affect keepers and their goals or mentality? How can keepers overcome these trials and not let it cloud their judgment? So who would like to begin our conversation for today? And as you start, I'm gonna copy and paste the question and put it on the text box. Oh, never mind, it's already there. Okay. Who wants to talk first about this topic? So again, you can answer one of the three. So first one is, how does stress or what does stress mean to you? How does stress tend to affect keepers and their goals or mentality? And third, how can keepers overcome these trials and not let it cloud their judgment? Okay, go ahead, Keeper Isaac.
So I'm gonna answer what does stress mean to you, and how does stress tend to affect keepers and their goals? I think stress means to me is that like you're you're weighed with so many responsibilities and many stuff to do, and you're not able to do everything at one time. Like from a previous video, I think the assignment said like we're not robots with multiple arms who can do multiple things at one time. We're a human being with only two arms and two legs, and we can't do everything at one time. And stress means to me to have lots of things compiled onto you. You can't do everything at one, and just feeling lots of emotions at one time, and then you get stressed. And how does stress tend to affect keepers and their goals? Or how does stress tend to affect keepers and their goals? I think how stress affects keepers and their goals is by affects their goals, like it's keeping them down and it's keeping them away from their goals and one step behind from getting closer to their goals and closer, and because they're either sad or worth thinking like they're worthless and they're just sitting in their bed doing nothing or just listening to music trying to get over it when they can go closer to their goals mentally and physically. That's all I have to say.
Wow, that was a nice deep answer for such a young keepers. Like I said, you guys, you may not think it, but everyone here has experienced stress at some point. We can even feel stress as a baby by not getting milk. That's why they cry, because they feel stressed that they can't get their milk, and which they need to, nourishment in their body. And of course, we have a lot of factors, and like Keeper Isaac said, we are not robots. We are only one human with two pairs of hands and legs, which are limited to doing things. And sometimes authoritative people who have, a lot of things for you to do, such as your teacher, it can be your teacher, your work boss, your parents, anyone who's monitoring you, or your guidance. They can all be part of the stress that you experience, by them putting more weight weight on your shoulder, like you have to do this, and then a couple of seconds later they say you have to do this. That is a factor of stress, and it's up to you to handle that stress. um which I'll give my I want everyone else to share their idea and their answers about this podcast episode's question, which is, what does stress mean to you? How does stress affect keepers and their goals or mentality? And how can keepers overcome these trials and not let it cloud their judgment? Okay. So nice answer, Keeper Isaac. Who else wants to give their input on the topic?
Can I go?
Okay. Who is that? Keeper Isaiah.
Uh, is in one of the questions is like how to overcome these trials. Um, I'm gonna go with like the question how to like overcome stress. You can like overcome stress by like slowing down, breathing for a moment, and thinking of what the things that just happened or what you need to do. And in that moment, once you have like um slowed down and know what you need to do, you you have calmed down and you won't feel as much pressure as you did before you calm down. And that's just one of the ways that you can overcome stress. I'm sure that there's multiple ways that you can overcome stress, and that's just one of the ways that I wanted to say today.
Okay. So he mentioned in his answer is what do you call this? He mentioned uh kind of like a panic attack. You're overwhelmed, anxiety. So anxiety and stress can both be factored as one that can make you have a panic attack. Have you guys ever seen someone have a panic attack in person? It's a little scary, yeah, but for those that haven't experienced it yet, you can only see what they're going through, right? But a panic attack can be caused by overload of stress and anxiety, because they don't know what to do, because they're under in so much pressure and weight that they can't process it all at once. So their body starts defending themselves by having a panic attack, which is kind of like resetting your mind or something like that, to help you calm down. But it's very preventable. It's easier said than done, preventing a panic attack. But for those that have been with someone that have a panic attack due to stress, you can, like Keeper Isaiah said, breathe. Breathing is a big factor of calming down because of stress. Because as you breathe, you allow blood to run through your body, which in turn gives your body more oxygen. So more oxygen means more calm, right? So that's why they always say breathe, breathe in, breathe out. That's um, one of the main things that people say when someone is having a panic attack, someone is mad, someone is angry, someone is very sad, because of stress, people tend to make irrational decisions in time. So, that's one of the problems that many keepers around the world, not just here in the United States and not just here in this podcast, but keepers around the world, and even adults, you never know, someone's parents could have also been going through that. We all go through stress, and that's how it affects our keepers and our goals and our mentality, because it's kind of like a limitation on your ability, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next person who wants to share. I saw keeper Calvin raise his hand earlier.
Yes,
So,
yes. Yes. Thank you,
wow.
host
Mhm.
and keeper Anthony. Opportunity to share. But yes, just like the question regarding trust and what we mentioned in our slideshow, that like everyone goes through trust, right? And it could be labeled as bad, but it could also be good, because everyone goes through it, and it's also like a sign to, see if we could handle it. Also things, maybe we're being poor in time management. So it really is like a reminder to really set our priorities straight. But I'm glad too, because this is not only a topic, just like every episode that we don't talk about in school, we don't get to talk about with our family, with our friends, right? So a reason why we wanted to talk about this topic, right, is because how stress can really cloud our judgment as keepers, and especially as a huge problem, nowadays, especially with young people just like us. And like I said, it can cloud our judgment, so especially when, we're going through a lot, and then it can really make us feel useless, worthless, pathetic, right? And it really clouds our judgment. Like we forget how much how much work we put in, how much sacrifice, love beyond measure time that we've dedicated into our passion, our craft, into our schoolwork, for example, too, right? But sometimes too, when you have so much stress, you really feel like a lot of us, we get to overcome. We really have the right mindset, to that it's a trial, it's a challenge that we have to overcome as keepers. But other times too, we fail. Sometimes we just give up, right? So that's why we're glad that Keepers Club really encourages us to, to get right back up, right? It doesn't mean that we're not gonna feel bad, that we're gonna feel sad, that we're not gonna even cry, right? But it's to really wipe our tears, to get back up again, to try again, to learn from our mistakes, and to really prioritize our to really focus on our priorities, right? To make others proud, not only ourselves, but those who are watching us, those who are around us, and to not feel sorry for ourselves, right? To not, even if you're disappointed, don't we don't sulk, we don't feel sorry for ourselves, but we get right back up again, and we continue to really go through the stress, right? To make others proud, like I said, and once again, it's something that we've learned from Keepers Club. There's even models, there's even, kuyas and atis to look to, which means like our brothers and sisters, and especially like people like our founding president, who really served like as a model, and really continuing to keep on, to hold on, and to just not give up so easily. So that's what I wanted to share as of now. So thank you, Keeper Anthony.
Well, thank you, Keeper Calvin, for that really nice message and answer to the question. But I think Keeper Josh wants to answer. But before we have Keeper Josh share his answer, can we welcome Keeper Nick? I think they just disconnected audio, but
Mm.
uh, once they connected back to the audio and open the camera, let us all welcome Keeper Nick. Okay, so with that being said, let us all call on Keeper Josh. Hey, Keeper Josh, what can you say about our topic this evening about stress? About how to relieve yourself from stress.
All right. So I have questions for them. So first, what does stress mean to me? Um, it feels like, I mean, we already said the dictionary like definition. I think that was the definition, but like um, so for stress, I feel like it's like being in a situation where the right answer is not very clear, or like you don't really see an obvious like good way out, I guess, out of a bad like situation in a pickle. I guess. And now, how would this affect like um the keepers, fellow keepers' goals or mentality? I mean, okay, so like recently I've been playing chess actually, and I feel like this could translate some. So now being stressed, I mean, tends to like not lead to good decisions. I think I keep already pressed this, but like when you're being stressed or being pressured, you're forced to like into a bad mental state where oh I gotta react by instinct because you can't think straight, you know? And I feel like this could like affect somebody's like maybe life changing choices maybe so I can't think of a good uh, thing but like yeah so how to actually overcome stress is I mean like the other I think it was keeper Isaiah said just breathe. I mean that's what I do, just deep breathing, but like I mean that's why I tuned in today in this podcast so I can learn and think of what other keepers think of how to overcome stress.
Wow. So thank you, Keeper Josh, for that really nice message. But you guys should definitely be able to know and think that you can't control everything in your life. You know, they say life is unpredictable. Many things can happen, and you can make as many plans as you can, but life will always throw something at you, may it be positive or negative, and that can always lead to stress, right? Because you don't know, you didn't expect it to happen. So your mind is going through many possibilities as to how you can answer or manage that problem, which then cause stress. But you guys, you know, stress is not always the easiest and most plausible way of dealing with a problem. Because sometimes you can choose to be stressed, right? You can choose to take on a problem that doesn't necessarily have to be your problem. But if you advocate deeply enough for that problem, you know, with the people, then it can also lead you to, you know, speaking out, and which in turn can lead to stress. But there's also those that are in a stressful situation unwillingly, you know, that it just happens. Um, According to life, it just happens because it also is a source of strength, right? As stressful as an event can be, it's also a source of strength. The harder it is, the more stronger or more strength that you can attain from it. Because as you guys go through different scenarios, different problems and stresses, you guys learn how to develop that, and then in future references, you adapt that solution and put it into the new one. And so you can always look at stress as two sides, you know, good or bad. So it's up to you really and how you deal with it. So I believe we have three more keepers that have not shared yet. And keeper Eric, are you able to say something, or you're busy?
Wow, hello. Sure. I will say something. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry
Wow.
for my absence. I'm just working on something, but I'm able to respond. So I know that the topic today is stress. So thanks for the privilege to all the keepers to be able to be here and answer to this. Now, I understand that stress is a big part of life. I'm sure that each and every one of us has felt stressed before, one way or another. It's something that you probably won't avoid and something that'll keep coming up. And we've all seen the effects of stress on our people. Like maybe it can be your friends or your parents or your coworkers. You see it on a lot of people. You know, the effects it like it will cloud your judgment, it will cloud your mind. You can't really focus on anything because you're thinking about something else. It changes your personality, it changes your mood. Like maybe you don't want to, talk to people as much, or you don't if you do talk to people, you won't say really the right thing, or you can't because you can't think that well. And that's how I would say that those are like the number one most prevalent effects of stress, I would say. Now, as for how keepers are able to overcome, there are many ways that I've heard to overcome stress. Now, maybe some of these ways won't work for everybody, but what I've heard, you can just breathe, like calm yourself down. Say it's okay, accept what's happening to you and the fact that not you can't control everything that happens to you, and just embrace it and make the most of your situation. But for some people that may it's whatever floats your boat really, because it's very individualized. Maybe breathing won't work for someone, maybe breathing will work for another person, or you can talk to a friend. I know, like that's what you do if you just want to talk to a friend, get your thoughts out, organize your thoughts, and maybe ask your friend for advice on what to do so you can clear out your stress or clear out whatever's stressing you. And I'm trying to think another thing that you can do. Keep positive. Maintain a positive mindset. Because I think naturally when people are stressed, or when you're stressed, you have a tendency to like build up negative emotion, and that negative emotion will lead to negative thoughts, and thus like get degradation of yourself. Like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Why am I doing this? Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. And then you live with a lot of regret, and then that further stresses you more, so it's not good. So the way to reverse that is to think positively. You have to sometimes accept, if the reason you're stressed is because you made a mistake, just accept you can't change the past, learn from it, move on, because you can't change the past. um if you're stressed like that way, just accept it and continue to be positive. See that there's like I mean to like, don't talk to yourself negatively. Don't talk to yourself like bully yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Self-bullying, a lot of times that happens when people are stressed. Don't bully yourself. Forgive yourself, and make sure you learn from that mistake or whatever is stressing you so it doesn't happen again. And that way you'll be able to, maintain your positive mindset, and that will relieve your stress a little bit. And yeah, but I also think maybe not every method will totally eliminate all stress, but all stress can truly be eliminated with time. Like in a day or two, it'll go away. Oh, the fourth method that I know that really relieves stress: eat and take a nap. I'm not joking. Like that helps a lot. It sounds kind of silly, but if you just like sleep it off, you usually wake up feeling a lot better. So that's just one of the another method that I know of. So thank you once again, Keeper Anthony, for hosting. That's such a privilege to see you host this time. And thank you to all the keepers for letting me say this. So yes, that's my answer.
Thank you, Keeper Eric, for that very informative informative phrases and statements, and thank you also for the shout out. But before I add on, and before I call into the next person, maybe we call on Keeper Nick that joined. Hi, Keeper Nick, how are you?
Hi, Keeper Nick. Welcome to the podcast, Nick.
Hi. Uh,
Were you
Hi.
were you invited by someone in this podcast, Keeper Nick?
Maybe.
Wow. Who is it? Was it Josh?
Maybe.
Oh, wow. Wow, Keeper Josh, thank you for bringing your friend into the Keepers. And thank you also for joining. You know, it's also a privilege for us to be able to share with other young people such as you, Keeper Nick. And we really thank you for joining this episode. And hope,
And
you know, you like the messages that comes from these young people because our topic today is stress, and we just want to share out to those that are here and those that will watch it in our YouTube channel about how to deal with stress according to how these young people in front of you, these keepers members, have joined and battled their battle with stress. So as we continue on, hope you enjoy, and if you want also to participate, I'll call on you if you want to to say something about stress later. But I'll call on our last two keepers and then I'll call you if you have any output, if you agree or disagree, any violent reactions. So with that being said, going back to keeper Eric's answer, you guys know that, like I said earlier, breathing is a method that we use, a lot of us use. And he is right, sometimes it doesn't work for everybody. But the first step towards reducing stress is learning what your triggers are. Because sometimes we get triggered by the same thing over and over, and that causes us stress. But if you determine what it is, let's say it's the math homework. Let's say it's a specific friend that always say negative things towards you or your belongings, or let's say it's just a stressful environment. If you can determine that, oh, this is the one that causes stress, eliminate it. Eliminate, not meaning kill them, or not meaning like shun them from the rest of your life, meaning find an alternative way of dealing with it, because you may be dealing with a problem the same way over and over, and it just always result in you being more stressed than you were before you even dealt with it, right? So just like keeper Eric said, there are more ways to deal with stress. So I'm just gonna share some of those that I have here listed. First is take breaks. Breaks from what? Maybe you're studying for a test tomorrow, and you can't join the podcast because, oh, it's I'm so busy because I have a test tomorrow. Test is a test. It's a grade that you can always make up, but it's a stressful thing. But you will not be stressed if you take breaks every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes. It's like a give and take. So you give something, which is the time that you take to study, and you take something from that study by taking a break. Say closing your eyes for 10 minutes because you're reading like a whole book for your test to learn and study, and you're doing math problems for 30 minutes now, and you can't you know um answer the question, but you've known how to do it, but you can't because your mind has been overpowered, has been burnt out. So that's why taking breaks allows us to not feel stressed, or at least reduce it to a maximum. That's one of the best way that you guys can take care of yourselves. Yeah, which is my next point. Take care of yourself. If you guys have your self-care routine, your face routine, your shower routine, that exfoliating, moisturizing, whatever you guys do, taking care of yourself also relieves stress. Why? Because you're letting your body take a break from all of the physical workouts, from all of the stress, because it's both physical and mentally, right? Your stress problems, it can all be dealt with both physically and mentally. So if you take a break physically, your body will have time to rest, and your mentality will also have time to rest. And last is, make time to unwind. Like I said, we live in a stressful time because in society it's always fast paced. Your school, you miss a day, you have to catch up. You miss another day, you have to catch up again. So everyone is moving forward, but we're just always catching up to everyone else. But how about taking time and say, pause, this is my life, this is my time, let me take a break because this is a little too much. Have you guys ever thought of that? Because that's a way of dealing and coping with stress by not, not going towards what society wants, but what you need, because it allows your body, your mind, your heart, your brain, your mentality, your spirituality to both, to all be relaxed for half an hour, or however long you meditate or um, relax. And I hope that gives you guys some ideas into what to say, because I'm calling on you next, Keeper Kendra and Keeper Angelo. So what can you guys say about what everyone else said, or if you want, you can answer the questions that are on the chats. And I'm gonna copy and paste it, and so that it's there again. Keeper Kendra, how are you
I
today?
think what stress means like it's like it's so overwhelming. Like when you have like school or work, it's like so stressed out. Like what Isaac said, we're not robots. We don't have like we don't have like seven. We don't have like we just have two arms, two legs. If you just like for me, if you like stressed out, it gets like really stressed out. You just meditate. Meditate helps. If you're like super stressed and like you can't take it, just meditate. Meditation helps with like stress.
Well, meditation and overall, to basically summarize what everyone say, mostly let your body have the time to heal itself, to mend itself, because you never really know that your body's working really hard, and then you're pushing it to the limit that it can't even reach, and that's why it's stress, and in turn it stresses your brain, your heart, your whole body. So just have time to take care of yourself and wind down and allow your body to heal. Okay, so next, thank you for that, Keeper Kendra. But next we have Keeper Angelo, and he said he's gonna answer all of the questions.
I said okay, never mind. All right, so first of all, what does stress means to you? Well, for me, I think that stress means is when you have like when you um when you have like a lot of stuff to do, and when you feel like it's too much, and basically it's where you're overworking yourself, and that it comes to the fact that you can't handle it no more, that you burst out, you get angry, you start like just like yelling at people or at yourself, and that the next question is, how does stress tend to affect or like keepers and their goals? um well, we all as we know, our goals can like be a source of stress, if that makes sense. And we feel pressure when we don't like if we're not able to like achieve our goal, like it doesn't come out the way we wanted it to come out, because we all know that if we're like trying to achieve goal, there will always be trials and like circumstances, and there will always be people like trying to bring you down, that's why if you're ever like trying to like what you call this, like trying to achieve a goal, don't let other people get to you so that you won't feel stressed, or like if you feel like that you're doing too much, take a break, just like with everyone else. You have to like um you have to give yourself some break in order for you to achieve, because you can't achieve your goal if you're overly stressed and working yourself too hard. And um and you know, if if you go like if you become stressed, um you get anxiety, I guess, and anxiety is like anxiety and stress does not go well. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Uh, and I guess yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that, Keeper Angelo. For all of the things that you guys have said, for everybody actually. But for those that also wonders, because actually I come up with this idea as he was talking. For those that still has some sort of hesitation towards what everyone is saying about taking a break, taking letting your body heal. If you guys have your own heroes, if you guys have celebrities that you guys look up to, don't you guys think that they get stressed too? And don't you guys think that they also take breaks um in regards to their day-to-day basis? Because for them it's of course it's very stressful because you're famous. People want to take pictures with you, want to get your autographs, and all of your moves are being monitored by people as a famous person. If they can get through that type of stress, that type of situation, how much more for all of us who are dealing with minuscule stresses such as homework, such as fear, fear of something, not really fear itself, because fear will always be there. But yeah, like I said, always, guys, as part of our topic today, stress, always find that something that you let your body use to allow your body to heal also. May it be meditation, music, writing, because a lot of times it helps in calming yourself down when you know what can calm you down. And I know many of us here are talented musicians, and I'm pretty sure you guys also have music as part of your calming down methods. Because as for me, I definitely do play music when things get stressful, especially music that has a lesson. Because you can just play any music, rap, love, whatever language you want it on, but does it really help you achieve the calmingness of your body that I'm trying to say? But for me, I listen to contemplating music that allows you to contemplate on life because of the message that it has. There are songs that have really good messages, because as a humanity as a whole, we've all experienced one thing similarly altogether, as we were as when we were young, or even as however old we are now. But always we always get through it. Persevere. That's the word that I want that I want you guys to learn today. Persevere, meaning no matter what happens in your life, stress, bad things, misfortunes, persevere, meaning push through, fight on, keep going, because at the end of the day, it's just how many hours of your day that you are stressed compared to how many more years, how many more days you have in the future, right? It's just a temporary problem. It can always be fixed. And as you guys keep on, growing more as a person, more as a character, and more as a part of society as a whole, you guys always learn these life lessons. And I'm glad that we're learning from each other, because like Keeper Calvin said, this type of topic is not really talked about in school. And I don't know about you guys, but if it is, it's kind of like therapy or going to like counselor. But just as a conversation itself, it doesn't really happen, right? So you have to go through a teacher they say, "Hey, I'm being stressed with all of this," and then they would recommend you to the counselor. But here, it's just a topic that we want to talk about because many of us feel stress, and many of us needs to know how to deal with it because in time, we're also gonna pass this knowledge to others who are also in the position that we are now in, which will then be once was. Got me? I think that's all I have to say for today. So with that being said, if anyone else wants to talk, but I want to call on Keeper Nick if she has any questions, if she has any outputs that she wants to share with us today. Hello, Keeper Nick.
Hello again.
Hi. What can you
Uh,
say about our topic today, or do you have any questions or inputs that you want to share?
no, I just listen and stuff.
Wow. Well, listening is never a bad thing when it comes to conversation because, for many of those that have been here constantly, you guys know that a lot more of these people that's in this Zoom right now, a lot more than have their cameras on, I mean off. Few have their cameras on, but and few also talk, but we also know that they are listening. Because even if it's just if you're multitasking and you have the podcast going on in the background, so certain things will stick to your mind because you're gonna be like, oh, he said something that I recognize. So your ear's gonna keep hearing it. And until the person is finished talking and you're like, oh wow, I never really think of it that way. So it's not a problem that, Keeper Nick is just listening. Because in time, we will also be able to share what we heard today. And lastly, I think I saw a hand with Keeper Josh. Hello, Keeper Josh. What can you add on to our topic before we conclude our podcast episode?
I just want to add on to because I've heard something from for Anthony and Cal that stress can be a good thing. Like what would be the opposite of stress? Comfort, right? So, and what we've said before, like in a past podcast, comfort can also be like lead to a bad thing. So let's think of it as waking up early in the morning when it's like really cold. Now, like you're really comforted in your like bed sheets, and yeah, and hopefully you have bed sheets. Well, okay, so now like for some people it can be like really hard to wake up in the morning and get out of bed because like the temperature or like you're just really comfortable on in what you have right now, your current position. But like when you get out of that comfort zone, it can lead to stress. But like that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like um when you're in stress, that means like you're getting out of your comfort zone. That means you're um, I guess growing. I guess so let's use another analogy. Like let's say for exercising, working out. So now if you just keep doing the things that you like been doing, let's say like I don't know, maybe 10 push-ups a day. Now after like a couple like some certain amount of time, right? Some amount of time, um, that's gonna be just like walking, it's gonna be that easy and you won't be stressed, you'd be comfortable with what you're doing. It's not really You're not really gaining anything because you're already comfortable with it. Now if you do like let's say like more, then that means I mean sure it's gonna put you into stress, but at the same time it's still like you're actually gaining something from it than like doing the same thing over and over in what you're comfort comfortable with. This can be also applied in like let's say your daily life, I guess. Now your daily life schedule thing. Wake up, uh, get prepared, go to work, like a couple hours, go back home and repeat. And then that's just, I'm not saying like maybe it's, I mean, it can be hard to like change, but getting out of your comfort zone is like something that can benefit you too. You know, stress doesn't have to be a bad thing. And I just wanna, yeah,
Wow. It's nice that you add on now because if you didn't add on, I wouldn't have thought of it that way. And I'm pretty sure many wouldn't have also that stress is not necessarily a bad thing. It's merely getting out of your comfort zone. And for those that are in high school and those that have finished high school, you're preparing to go into the big outside. You explore the world, and the world is full of uncomfortable situations, a scenario that you're not necessarily used to, and that can lead to stress. But as you get stressed because of that, you also become stronger, like I said. So, sometimes we always think the good, but sometimes think the bad also. Not necessarily evil, but like the bad things that happens in your life because like I said, without bad things happening in our lives, without stress, without challenges, without you falling down, you're never gonna know what it's like to come back up. It's a feeling of getting up triumphantly because you want to finish the race. You fell on the track, you fell, in the race. But if you look at other people, once they fall, they will come back and they run faster and better and finish the race eventually. Just think of it like that. You're in a race and stress is just um drag, wind that drags you down, that keeps you on the floor. But if you get back up, it's gonna be there. But the thing that you're looking for is you going back up again as part of dealing with stress. Because as humanity, as we ourselves, we don't just quit, we don't just leave the battle, but we keep on fighting, as many do in their daily lives. And stress is just one of those battles that we have to win. And it can be a recurring battle, but as long as you fight the battle, fight to win, sooner or later you're gonna overcome and win the war against yourselves, against others, mentally, physically, and most importantly, spiritually, right? So, does anyone else, with that being said, want to add on? Have any last final thoughts before we conclude our lessons today?
Oh,
Lesson, our topic, I mean. Yes, Keeper Calvin.
yes, I just think final thoughts from me is just I'm very glad to join, to hear everyone's, insight as well. And we're always learning, right? It's just from like one keeper to another. And then if anything, I just want to emphasize that like this topic, really relates to young people like us, like a struggle of being a youth, something we always talk about in our episodes. So we encourage everyone to always join every week, and then especially this topic, regarding stress. We really just want to emphasize that like there's keepers like us, we always who have been through stress, and then some of them just can't handle it. For example, they just throw in the towel, they just quit, they leave, right? But just make sure, that's why it's the reminder to all of us that, just especially in times of stress, just make sure to be strong, and then to make sure you don't make a decision when you're stressed that you might regret, whether it being temporary, whether it being uh forever, you never know. So that's why I just always try to think clearly, try to relax too, and to really prioritize what you take seriously, what you should cut off out of your life, right? And for keepers like us to really to continue to be strong, to hold on, and to not let anything, take away from all your progress, all of your hard work, because truly all of our effort is uh will be rewarded, whether we know it, whether we realize it, so that's why it's nice seeing all the keepers share as well, and really sharing what we've learned as well as keepers from Keepers Club International. So, and thank you once again, Keeper Anthony.
Wow. Thank you, Keeper Calvin, for that nice touch towards the end. And lastly, everything is temporary. It's not nothing is permanent in this world because it will all turn to dust in the future. As it is forgotten, as it is lost, and stress is just one of those temporary problems that will just eventually fade away. So stay strong, keep fighting the battle, and don't give up the fights. Okay, so with that being said, let us move to our next part of the podcast, which is show us your talents. Who has a talent that they want to show tonight, today? I believe Keeper Josh has been practicing some sweet tunes, and it's always nice to hear his trusty guitar in this podcast. So if you want to play Keeper Josh, now is the time.
I'm not sure if it will actually work. So can you guys hear the rain in the background?
Not really.
All right, that's all right.
Okay,
Okay.
bye, Josh. But
I think he's getting his guitar.
hey, there you go.
Let's do sound check first. Sound check, sound check. He's muted. There's no audio. I think you're a little too close to the phone or something like that. Or maybe your background noise.
Off.
Yeah, turn it off.
How do I turn?
So go to hold on, audio settings. Uh, audio. Hold on.
Or yeah, Josh. Um, is it like the same? Is it like the same setup you have like previous
Yeah,
episodes?
it's it's my laptop.
Okay,
Mm,
I'm just making sure because I know there was like problems last week or last time, but let us know unless you wanna try again, like play it and then we'll let you know if we hear it.
All right,
Unless
all
you
right.
can join with your phone or something
Oh,
really quick.
Josh, can you go to your audio settings and go to audio, and you can turn off echo cancellation and high fidelity music mode.
Echo.
Echo cancellation because that's the one that um usually blocks your sound because your constant music is seen as an echo. There you go. Play again, play again. Okay, yeah, we can hear you now.
All right.
Wait, test it again, Josh. Can you like strum?
Now it's muffled again.
Wait, more. Like strum for like 5 seconds, honey. Okay, Josh, I have an idea. Are you able to join with your phone?
Maybe. Uh,
Yeah, because we want to hear you, Josh. There you go. Okay, and then make sure mute it on your laptop and only on that we could hear you on your phone. And then make sure your laptop volume is all the way low. Good.
is
Wait,
it
one
working?
more, one more. Can you show 'em? Is it next to your phone? Your guitar?
It's like really close.
One more, one more. Okay, play for like 5 seconds. Okay, let's just try it though.
I'll be short this time.
Here you go, Josh. Woo!
Wow. We'll get there next week in perfecting our audio. But I've heard snippets and it's, I'm pretty sure it's always good because it's ear strumming. Based from previous episodes on your talent showcase, it's always been good. So thank you, Josh. Who else would like to show their talents for today? I think Keeper Kendra wants to sing because she said, "Let me sing."
Oh, really? Wow, go ahead, Kendra. Woo!
Wow. Keeper Calvin, you're not gonna sing, or are you gonna sing?
I can't, but an idea I have, I could play the trailer.
Yes. Great idea.
Okay. Um, Keepers. Okay. Yeah, I'ma play our trailer for anyone like new or anyone who has never like wants to get like an idea of how the podcast has been, so I'll play the trailer. It's like a couple minutes. I think it's only wait, it's like 3 minutes, but it's kind of nice, so let's all watch this.
You are
Wow. It's giving nostalgia.
For real.
Reminiscing
Felt
of
so nice,
that.
right? Good times.
You know what really got me was the ending part where you just showed the growth of the podcast, in the video. It started off as many, but throughout time it became many-er. Many-er in numbers. But with that being said, thank you for those that have shown us their talents. So we would like you to invite you more in more future episodes. But first, how was this episode? We really hope that you enjoyed, and we'd love to see you for episode 43. Okay, so now it's time for our shout outs portion. Give a shout out to new faces. Shout out to Keeper Nick for joining us today for the first time.
Go, go, Nick. Woo.
Keepers, shout out to everybody for those that have joined before and are here again today. Shout out to keepers tuning in. For those that watches the YouTube video in the YouTube channel of the Keepers Club podcast, shout out to you. Keepers Club International for everyone else that joins in different activities, and the president of Keepers Club, which is our founding president, Pastor Apollo Sikibula, which is the one in the picture in this slide. So any others, you guys can give shout outs to those that you guys have invited, to those that you have seen. So Josh, you can give shout out to everybody that you want to shout out. Wow.
I invite um Keeper Nick.
Oh, shout out to Keeper Nick. Thank you so much for joining, even though it's your first time. We thank you for allowing us to share some of our inputs on the topic that we have today. Okay, so let's go to the next slide.
Yeah, and oi, shout out to everyone that has joined. Also to Keeper Anthony, doing an awesome job, of course. First time hosting to the podcast. Go, go, Keeper Anthony. Woo.
Woo! Thank you so much.
Go, Toad.
Thank you. So funny. Can you share the slide again, Keeper Cal? I think I have one more thing to say, or two, a couple. So today is actually our founding president's birthday, April 25th of the year 2023. So shout out to our president, Pastor Apollo Sikibloy, for this another year that he has given to us to be able to host this podcast as a privilege, because it can be taken away any moment, but it can be given to anyone else, but it was given to us here in the USA to join and help other young people uplift and guide them into more ways to making good decisions. And lastly, kindly check out our link tree. We have many online resources, online pages. We can scroll down a little bit. So our podcast can be found in Facebook, via Keepers Club Chicago, Illinois, USA, through Zoom. Join our Cloud HD video meeting, which is this one. So for those that invited you, ask them for the link again. We also have YouTube, Keepers Club Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, KCI Chicago, Snapchat, Keepers Club Podcast, and what is that? Is that Twitch?
Yes, sir. That's the
Okay,
go-to live streaming.
Oh wow. Keepers Club podcast on Twitch, on Discord. Join the Keepers Club podcast Discord server and Twitter, Keepers Club podcast. So if you guys can click on this um link here, or if you can click on it, take a screenshot, because your phone allows you to copy and paste words from screenshots now, which is amazing. And lastly, may we all have a group photo. As you guys have seen the trailer of our podcast, we have group photos that signifies the growth and the many young souls that have joined this podcast to learn more about different problems and different solutions that may be used in that situation. And it may be taboo to some people, especially in school, but here in Keepers Club podcast, it's common terms, it's common conversation because we help uplift each other. Okay, so with that being said, for those that wants to join this week's podcast group photo, can you turn on your camera and show your beautiful and handsome faces? And Keeper Nick, it would also be nice to see you. Keeper Isaac.
I'm invisible.
Oh wow, nice. What
See,
about Keeper Isaac? Are you gonna join in the photo, Keeper Isaac? If not, that's fine also. Okay,
But
so everyone, fix your angles, fix your camera
everyone tuck in your stomachs.
in your stomachs. Okay, so everyone, big smile in three,
I got
two,
you.
1. Smile. I wait. One more. Okay, next we can do the keeper sign. Okay,
Yeah.
so peace sign sideways with the thumb in the middle. So the K for keepers. Okay, 3, 2, 1. One more. Okay. So thank you guys for joining this week's podcast. Hope you guys learned something in dealing with stress, dealing with other ways, and also learning how to cope with stress because like Josh said, Josh, stress is never really all negative. It can be a positive thing also. Depends on how your outlook is. So thank you guys for joining. Hope to see you again next week and hope to see more keepers and visitors to join our Keepers podcast next week. So thank you guys so much for joining once again. Thank you for Calvin for
Thank you,
this for
Anthony.
allowing me to
All
host.
right. And regards also to Keeper Nick, who maybe was invited, and Invisible Keeper Nick. Thank you for joining. Woo, go Arkansas. Woo.
Bye,
yay.
Wow.
bye.
Thank you guys for joining once
All right,
again. See you guys.
Kendra, Isaac, Kuya
Bye.
Josh,
Goodbye.
Gogo Anthony. Woo.
Bye everyone. I'm gonna give you.
Love from Chicago.